This is Hebe. Hebe is going to be 6 in June. She had a litter of puppies 3 months ago, so she's not looking her best, bless her. Her coat, I did take it off about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but I'm going to take it off again because it will just benefit it to just take it short. So what I'm going to do, I haven't done anything to this coat at all. I haven't bathed her, I haven't combed it at all. So I'm going to show you what the trimmers can do. I'm going to put it on the shortest setting, and I'm going to start by doing the inside of her ears. Okay. As I say, the benefit of these is that it's nice and quiet. So if you've got a sensitive Lagotto, it's nice and quiet. So I've gone from the centre of the ear outwards rather than going in that way. So all the way around. If your dog will tolerate that, I just take that bit off too. But don't worry if it doesn't. Be very careful of this area here where they've got the sort of the flaps of skin. That is easy to catch. So if you want to avoid that bit, do. But it is a good idea to do the inside of the ear flap because there's an awful lot of hair and it does build up. And I get dogs coming into me that have got a build up on the inside and a build up on the outside, and you end up with a big thick wodge of felting. So remove that. Now we do the armpits. So lift the leg and then just scoop it like that. Again, they get a build up of felting, and you get debris and bits of sticks, and you know, it can get quite uncomfortable. I'm then going to lift her back leg to do the area under here. And again, she's a bit saggy, I'm afraid, but that's because she's had babies recently. I'm going to just, from the inside, come towards me and just scoop out the coat that's, you know, there. Now the vulva area, you scoop into it, but not over it. You see now Hebe's a little bit more difficult because she's got this, you know, lots of saggy nipples. Now, but under the tail, you a sort of little scoop towards the anus, but not over it. It's a good idea to keep that area nice and clean. So that's the sanitary areas on this side, and the preparations all done. It's a good idea to do all those because they do get a bit mucky under there. So, and again, a bit like the armpits, they can get a build up of, I don't know, little bits of seeds and thorns and things in there, and it just gets a bit uncomfortable. And sometimes I've taken very full coats off Lagotto and they've ended up, the skin underneath is actually quite sore and scratched because of all the debris within the felt of the coat. Right, I'm just going to, this is Dario, my young boy, who I've clipped fairly recently, but I just thought I'd demonstrate what to do the sanitary areas of a male. Again, I've got his leg in my hand and the tail, lift it up and then scoop away like that, and then scoop off the end of the penis like that. Being very careful not to catch it, but you're scooping in like that. No, and you can sort of gently go across, but it's more of that sort of action and not into the skin like that. Okay. So if you choose to buy one of these trimmers, you will get some plastic extension cones that come with it. Now, I'm going to just demonstrate how you put them on and how you use them. I think, as I said earlier, I don't very often use them on the Lagotto coat because it's usually far too thick, and it just gets entangled with the with the wool under the undercoat, and it catches and it's just uncomfortable for the dog. But what you would do if you wanted to use them is just slide that over there like that, and so that in effect extends the length of the clip by, that's about half an inch, or no, a bit more than that actually, and then you just do that, and it's just literally taking the ends off. Now because Hebe's coat is fairly short at the moment, it's clipping it quite nicely. Also she's lost all her undercoat, as I say, because of having puppies, but so that's just to show you how it works if you choose to do that. I'm going to take her short because I just think it was just better to do that. I will just show you the longest one again, because her coat is not great at the moment. It's easy to do this. So no, see, that is not going. This is a new blade and it's not liking that. So even on her coat, the longest setting is not great. So I'm going to go down to the shortest one and take her really quite short. Okay. So that's quite short, okay? So that's, I mean, you should be able to use this on any Lagotto coat if you take it on the shortest one. So even if you've got a dog that's got a really matted coat, just go the shortest you can, and then at least the clip will last a nice long time. So to start off, I've just demonstrated in that area, but I would normally start at the top here. I'd find the occiput, which is behind the bony lump at the back of the skull. I'd come 2 or 3 fingers back from that and start there. So I'm just going to gently do that. What you need to do is to stretch the skin away from the direction that you're coming. Lagotto skin is very delicate. They're protected by thick woolly coat, double coat. You've got the woolly undercoat, which on a Lagotto with a good coat is extremely thick. You've then got a coarse guard hair. So because they have such a good thick coat, they don't necessarily need to have a thick skin. So you have to be really careful when you're clipping not to catch that skin. So by stretching, you see I'm getting hold of the skin and pulling away from it so that the skin is taut. If I were to leave that and catch it and you force it, you can rip the skin. So just be careful. Don't let that put you off grooming your dog, because your dog needs to be groomed. You just have to be cautious. The areas that you have to be particularly careful are the sort of knobbly joint areas, like the elbow here and the hock area. But again, it's stretch the skin, like that. Okay, I'm going to get it to stand up and put my hand under there. I will put the belly strap on, but actually I don't need to at the moment. As you can see, it's lovely and short. It might scare you to think of taking your dog that short, but I wouldn't worry, because I just think at the moment the best thing to do is to take any anxiety off you and your dog. So get that coat off. It'd be nice for the dog to have the freedom to run around in the sun without too much coat. So yeah, off with their coats I think this year. Be careful here because you've got a flap of skin. Just run over it like that. Run down here. That's it. So what you can do here, gets a bit scraggy there, pull that tight so that you're not going to catch any skin, and just go in there and just take that, what you've missed earlier on when you did your clip under the leg. Okay, any other little bits, just really carefully just catch those like that. Okay. What you can do, lift the leg, reach over to the other side and do the inside of the other leg. It's very often easier, you can see it better if you do it from the opposite side. I haven't clipped up in there, so I'll leave that. But I'm just going to take the inside of that leg. Okay, can you see that? I'm going to lift that leg, slightly pull it towards me. It's fidgeting a bit, so I can't really see it. It just means that you can see it and reach it more easily from underneath. Now, her belly. I've got her on a really, really short thing, so I'm safe to run over those nipples. If your dog, you've got a bitch and she has her puppies or whatever, don't go over the nipples with a longer a blade. Okay, you can stretch it out so you can get between and run that down there. Okay. I'm going to lift here, lift the head and into the throat and run it down like that. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby. So starting to see a nice neat outline. Tail. For the tail, Lagotto hate having their tails done. They hate their tails and their front legs and feet being done. So I'm just going to secure her and with the belly strap, because otherwise she's going to sit down to stop me doing her tail. So again, just run down the tail. Being careful with the anus and that sort of area. That's it. Now he broke a tail a little while, a couple of years ago, so she's got a lump, which may be obvious. Yes, it is. So run down off the end. That's it. The end of the tail is probably easier with scissors, so just pull the hair out at the end of the tail and just snip that off like that. Being very careful, obviously. Pull any bits out that you've missed. Oh, we have a visitor. Hello, Dario. So I'm just going to run over that area here. I'm going to lift the leg actually to get it nice and tidy. Again, be careful here. That's it. Missed that bit there. There. Okay, so she's starting to look tidier. I'm going to leave the legs and do that a bit later.